Yeah. Welcome to the Grindin' Jiu-Jitsu podcast. I'm your host, C-Tech all day, Carlos Santiago. And I am here with the Antonio Banderas of Orlando Jiu-Jitsu, Jason motherfucking Valle. What's going on, Jay?
What's good, bro? How you doing?
Chilling, man. Listen, so I've done jiu-jitsu all across the country. So there's motherfuckers that I want to interview, and I want to pick the brain of like just awesome people who are into jiu-jitsu, who've been doing it for a very long time, and who is literally grinding. Like not a I'll call myself a casual, even though I'm in the gym 4 or 5 times a week, I'm teaching, but like competitors. I want to get into the eyes of a competitor. So real quick, little background on yourself before we continue, please, sir.
Little background. Obviously, my name is Jason Valle. Um, Training here in Orlando, Florida. New York-born Puerto Rican. Training at my main gyms, which are all the way. Training at my main gyms, Fusion Excel Performance, as well as Cogito Jiu-Jitsu. Those are the two spots I visit most. Yep, you already know. Cross train a bit, so if anyone ever wants to cross train, catch some rounds, it's all love in the sport, so we can link up.
That's awesome. How long you been doing jiu-jitsu for anyway?
Jiu-jitsu, let's go with this. I started wrestling at 14, right? 14 years of age. I'm 34 now. So I wrestled throughout my high school, had that little high school experience, got the basics down. And then probably around the age of 20, jumped into the sport of jiu-jitsu. So you could say I've been training 14 years jiu-jitsu, little breaks here and there with life, but still going at it.
No wonder I can't take your ass down. Okay, see, that explains a lot. See, I'm already getting. I got to put the mind focus of a wrestler background.
So we kind of meet in the middle at that.
Yeah. So Jay, before we start talking, so this podcast I made it for the highs and lows of competitors. So you're competing constantly. Everything on your Instagram, by the way, follow Jason. I'm probably going to put a link in the bio on his Instagram, but I'm on your Instagram all the time. And you're constantly on a promotion. I mean, you are grinding, whether it's in Miami, definitely all over the Florida area. Like, how do you keep the mindset of like, you know what? I'm gonna go try to fuck somebody up.
Yeah. Man, really, it's just fun. It's just fun. Competing is fun. I'm gonna say the biggest enjoyment, win, lose, or draw, is just the adrenaline rush. The adrenaline rush, controlling that adrenaline rush. Keeps me focused. Keeps me focused with everything else I have going on in life. Keeps me working out, keeps me healthy. So I'm gonna say just wanted to chase that rush and how good that feels of being in there, kind of being absolutely free, where you can just let loose. We go to war in the gym. Probably experience my best battles in the gym, but it's only in competition that you can really let loose and listen. If I have to snap your arm,
all out.
That's what it is. So that's the real drive behind it. Is just that rush. It's not even to I do have goals that I'm still aiming to achieve. I would like to achieve. It just makes it fun, kind of chasing it. But that's pretty much it, man. Just chasing it for the enjoyment, the fun, the rush.
What are those goals? Please let me know, sir.
Those goals. So recently, let's say these last couple of years, I've had the opportunity to compete against some very high-level guys.
That's right. You had a match with Keith Purporian. Yeah. That's right.
That was a great experience. Also, shout out to Keith. He's a gentleman. Chatted with him a handful of times, and that was a really good experience. Handful of high-level guys, up-and-comers as well. Goals currently, I know everyone's currently speaking on ADCC and all that stuff. I'm not entirely sure if that's something I'm going to aim for this year. I got to experience it last. It was kind of a nice realization of just how high-level jiu-jitsu could get with everyone that goes out to that. And that was just ADCC trials. It wasn't even the ADCC, the main event. But big goals this year, I kind of want to just keep going against high-level guys. or really, honestly, just guys that are going to come at me and really push me to test my jiu-jitsu and, kind of have that clash. For the most part, yeah, I level guys and seeing how many I could take out.
So what weight class are you in currently?
Currently, I'm floating between 165, 170.
I don't know the whole kilos thing. Like, what kilos does that fall under, if you know?
I think 169 pounds and 77 kilos.
77 kilos. Okay, okay.
So that's where I'm at right now, but that's only because I like to eat. I've been eating, been having some fun with the weights.
Arroz con gandules.
Yeah, you already know, man. Puerto Rican food keeps me healthy, right? A little heavy right now. Just enjoying not having to cut weight and competing at this weight, just having fun with it. Not focusing on the weight cut or the dieting or any of that. I eat good, try to keep it decently healthy. Most of the time. Moving forward, I'll probably work my way back down to 155, maybe even possibly 145 if I do aim to compete on some, bigger events, ADCC or whatever might pop up my way. I'd be willing to make that cut. But outside of that, I'll probably just keep floating around 170.
So I had to cut 10 pounds for it. So I just competed in grappling industry, and I wanted to get down to the 230 under, not the 230 over. So I get to the 230 under. Dog, just 10 pounds is crazy. And you're talking about a good 25. Like, that's just the mindset to put yourself that you're actually a smart grappler in general. So I already know that you're probably going to put a long course time span. But I wanted to piggyback off something you just said. So you said, so this is the highs and the lows. So you got the realization at ADCC trials, West Coast or East Coast?
The one I competed at?
Yeah.
I had done the East Coast trials in Jersey.
In Jersey.
My first experience going to it, my first experience competing at that level. My first round was Robert Degel. Shout out to Robert as well.
Strong leg locker.
Very, very, very technical, very skilled. Another gentleman I got to, been able to interact with. Actually, me and Robert had trained years ago while we were, I believe, at the purple belt rank. He was actually, I'm going to say, honestly, he's the one that kind of brought out that different approach to the leg lock game itself. We've gotten to roll quite a few times. And it changed my whole perspective on the leg lock game, just kind of like sucked me into it. And learning the game all around, man. Jiu-jitsu, you have to know the full game. It can't just be that one standard set of techniques, but currently it's a dangerous game to play. Flipped my whole approach, and I kind of dove into that. And not the greatest leg locker. I have pretty decent skills at it, pretty decent knowledge. But dove into it and just really try to kind of just learn the approach and really understand it. And a lot of people ask me to teach them leg locks. Oh, hey, teach me some leg lock entries, this and that. And they don't realize it could take years for you to really develop a solid leg lock game where you could effectively use it in competition and not get caught on the flip, because it's a two-way street. If you're attacking legs, you're kind of playing the same game where yours could get snagged up too. So you have to really understand it to avoid those serious injuries.
Can I say something funny? So I lost all this weight. Leg locks are so much harder now than it was when I was 265, 270, because I was able to use my body weight and kind of like trap a leg and throw my whole body weight on it. And everybody's like, get out. Now that I'm lighter, it is so much more harder to play the leg. And just the fact that you play the leg game in the 77 division is nuts, because you already know almost, and especially it's still the meta. Like, I'm gonna be honest, it's still the meta. Like, you have a good leg lock game, you can potentially win this thing. It's so intricate, and we already know the BBS, they made it popular, but everybody knows leg locks now. Leg locks is like a meta that everybody knows that if we can get a good game off, it's a wrap. Are you right now on the focus point of my leg locks need to be better, or is it more I need to be more all around for now until that competitive and leg lock game is?
My leg lock game does need to be, it's my jiu-jitsu overall. It's a game of constant improvement. The second you stop, you've seen how jiu-jitsu has evolved through just the last few years, how much it's skyrocketed, right? How let's go with leg locks, just the evolution of that game alone, and now you go into these gyms and you're rolling, and not everyone is as ignorant towards that exchange, so it has blown up a lot. So I'm gonna say for my personal game, definitely my leg lock game needs to improve. I've caught plenty in competition. I've gotten caught too. I'm not perfect with it yet, but it's a constantly evolving game. So I'm gonna say just my jiu-jitsu overall needs to improve. It's something I'm constantly chasing. Constantly chasing growth, sharpening those little details. Viewing different approach, adding more technique to my game, and just chasing that constant evolution. It's plan on doing this game to my last breath. I plan on being a part of it. So up until that day, as long as I'm having fun with the sport, I'm going to continuously look to evolve and have fun keeping up with the game.
So I got to tell you a funny story about when us in general. So everybody in the podcast world and it all over. So I've been training with Jason for a minute. What is it, like 2.5 years now? Almost 3 with Matt and the open mats and stuff.
A little longer than that.
It's been, yeah, it has been a little long. It's been a while. So training with Jay, going hard, we're in the gym, where we're going in. I'm on a weight loss journey. It wasn't going well in the beginning, few years, but I got it, whatever. And Jay, my background is I'm a 10th Planet guy. So, I got to train 10th Planet over there in Orange County, California. Shout out to Monster Squad in Orange. And one of the up and comers from San Diego was Keith Kokorian. And he moved to Orange County, California, and started training with our guys. It was like a 4 gym group, and within the area, Orange County Monster Squad, Fullerton, Orange County, Yamahama, something of that sort. So Keith was actually already in the buzz 6 years ago as a blue belt. They were like, yeah, it is crazy. So I've always been a fan of Keith. So we're training, me, Jay, training, blah, 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 blah. Come down the line, and then I see the poster. And I see Jason and Keith are going for the chip in freaking submission grappling series. Do you know, inside my heart was broken, dog. Like, my heart was broken. I got one of the guy I've been training with for the last 3-4 years versus a guy I've been following since blue belt. We have a really cool relationship. We actually speak. Really cool, nice guy. Shout out to Keith. And I was at that match, like, I don't know who to root for. I'm just gonna watch. Just a little.
At that point, that's all you could do. Enjoy the show, enjoy the clash.
Oh, like,
Win.
So I want to ask a question, but before I ask the question, shout out to the sponsors, Cogito Jiu-Jitsu. Shout out to Cogito, helping a brother out with the podcast. Am I really sponsored by them? No, but I'm going to show them love anyway. I teach. I don't give a. Quick question. So have you ever called somebody out in jiu-jitsu and paid the price?
Oh, yeah. Plenty of times. And I'll probably still make that mistake, just aiming to challenge myself. We could talk with some local monsters, men that I consider legends in the game. We could speak about Thiago Dominguez out of Ace BJJ. Roll with that man, and you're gonna get a real deep realization of what pressure in jiu-jitsu is like. He's an amazing one. Let's go with Rodolfo Vieira. I've been blessed to roll with him. That other ADCC champion, right? It's amazing to roll with someone. Someone like Rodolfo is a special breed, man, because outside of his weight advantage and his, strength and all that stuff, his skill is amazing. And to see how he moves at that size is very impressive. And it shows just how important technique is in jiu-jitsu, and being able to move. And, amazing experience getting to roll with him. Head instructor at Fusion Excel, Julian Williams, rolling with that man. That's another insane pressure. Where rolling with him is like, you better give it everything you got, and if you're lucky, he might flow with you, but it's a very challenging round.
That is
Let's
one.
go to,
What was that?
I got to give a shout out to this gentleman, right, as well, Matt Ferriolo. That's another monster. Bro, gotta be because there's no pause in that, that scrap. So
that's one of my goals for this year. I'm my goal. I've never trained with Mr. Wills. I've trained with Philly Fresh, so like great rolls, but I haven't gone with Julian, So that's one of those black belts that I was like, you know what? Like that was one black belt that I would love to just get around with. And I know he's gonna whip my ass, but it's just to know, like, there's Thiago. When I went with Thiago, dog, my life was over. Like I never felt something like that in my life. Like, to be honest with you, to the point where I don't tap from pressure. That's one that I was ready to go. I got out, but I was ready to go. That man is something else. So I can only imagine just being in the training room with these dudes, and you've been training with them, grinding, getting these rounds in, and look at where you are now, man. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like you're on so many cards here in the Orlando, and shout out to the Orlando. We get a lot of shit talked out of us, it's talked about us, but we're trying here, all right? We're trying to grind out here, motherfuckers. We got a lot of cool promotions coming out, and y'all watch it on YouTube, but y'all comment in the on YouTube talking all that shit. Yo, come down to Orlando and talk your shit close up. Motherfuckers, whatever. Anyway, so those are the guys that were called out. Not calling out like Thiago, like I'm gonna bust your ass, but it's more like, hey, I want to go at you. I want to go at you for our future. So now you already know the weight classes you're already like touching on. You know that, a lot of these grapplers aren't really in the Orlando area, but if a grappler that was close to the area that you want to get a good match with, who are you looking
at? Good match is just to roll with, and share the
either or. You know what? Give me 1 and 1. One just for a roll, one for competition.
Oh, let's say grappler that I would just like to roll with. I have to go with 2. Well, no, I can't even lie. There's a lot I want to roll with.
Yeah.
A lot of them. Some that have kind of made an impact on my game just studying them. I've never gotten to train with them, but man, it would be honored to just roll with these guys. Would be Marcelo Garcia. He's one that would be a dream to roll with him.
That is the goal.
We're gonna go with Eddie Bravo as well. That would be an insane round to get to experience.
Eddie Bravo. Listen, I didn't get to roll with Eddie. When I was in Cali, I did go. You know what? I did the Blue Belt tournament in LA, and I lost first round. I actually had gout. I actually did jiu-jitsu for a competition with gout. Worst mistake of my life. That dude he has monsters in his camp. You got Gio, you got Benetti. Listen, he has monsters. With these monsters, and to have the idea that most of their techniques came from that man, I can only imagine what around. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's crazy. And Marcelo.
I got my names out there, man. It's someone that I study heavily, and just his approach towards martial arts in general. To go with John Danaher, that's another one. Eddie Cummings, someone that I would highly look up to when I was kind of learning the whole leg lock game, studying it.
Is he still with Unity, or is he even training at Olympic?
I
I think
haven't
so, right?
seen what he's had going on. I'm not entirely sure where he's at right now or what he has going on, but I'll have to look that up actually.
Listen, that's one that if he came out of retirement and just showed up on a video, I don't care. Like, as long as that I know that he's alive, dude, that man is scary. Like, his leg lock game was just Danaher Death Squad isn't Danaher Death Squad without Eddie Collins. I'm just saying that. But shout out to John Calistine. John Calistine is nasty, nasty, nasty. I got friends right now training with him. He has his own school in Brooklyn. And that was another one from that squad that, kind of broke away. And like now everybody don't remember them now. Dude, Eddie Cummings, John Calistine, dude, they were nasty. Nasty, nasty. So I 100% agree. Eddie Cummings I'm shocked that came out. That was awesome. That's a good one.
Calistine is one that I like seeing that guy grapple. His intensity when he's going into matches. He's getting right after it. He's a very fun competitor to watch compete.
Well, I know you did a training session. You're about to do a training session right now. Another one, or wait, he's about to do it. So, just tell everybody what you got coming up. I don't want to take too much of your time. Episode 1 of the Grinding Jiu-Jitsu podcast. Listen, Jay, first of all, thank you so much for taking time out of your day just to, just shoot the shit just for a little bit. And this ain't going to be the last, because I think this conversation needs a continuation. We're going to need a part 2, because I had a good time just shooting the shit and just talking jiu-jitsu. What do you got coming up? What do you got to say to the people who are going to watch this from all across? Because remember, I'm a New Yorker. And I've traveled all across the country. So all my jiu-jitsu people from all across the country is most likely at least going to watch this once. What do you got to say to
them? Next up, I have on July 29th, I have a super fight set up over in St. Pete for Zapatero Invitational.
Oh, Zapatero.
Zapatero has been a promotion that I've competed on a handful of times. Every time I've been on Zapatero has been a great experience. I've been able to compete. Get into compete and then watch the matches that
Star-Lord, right? Is that Star-Lord? Yeah. Okay.
Puts together matches. The guys that pull up to that event are there to compete, so it's a good show. If you guys want to see what great jiu-jitsu competition should look like, that's an event to definitely check out. I'll have my link on my Instagram. Got a poster up as well if anyone wants to look at information for that. Maybe wants to go watch or even pull up to the event time, so it's worth going to. And then after that, I'm still waiting on the possibility of competing, jumping back on Submission Grappling Series. Shout out to SGS. That's another event. That one is amazing. Just the vibe, the music, the scene. It's just
In Guild Nightclub, which is a super poppin' venue with poppin' ass music, and the bar is poppin' also.
I'm still waiting to see what the setup is going to be for this one. I believe they did their last show at down south, Fort Lauderdale. That was a really good time. I was able to compete on that one as well. Had a great match. Good time out there. Not sure if the next one will be over there. I think it might be. Might be in Orlando. Just waiting to get word and see if I can get locked in on that one. But that's the next one's coming up, and then after that is whoever wants to compete against me. Didn't get to answer earlier, but guys that I would like to call out. Don't want to throw any names out specifically, but I will say if anyone wants to compete against me, just down to scrap and just put on the show, put on the match.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Anybody out there who wants to smoke, come hit up Jason Valle, BJJ on Instagram. He's ready for all of it. Y'all heard it here on the Grinding Jiu-Jitsu podcast. What the fuck is up?
Yes, sir.
Jason,
that's what it is.
Do you have anything else? Anything more?
Nah, man. Hey, I appreciate you having me on. This is brief, but definitely got to run it back.
Run it back. Listen, part 2 coming soon. We'll give him a week off. We'll let him do his training camp, get these matches. You know what? We'll schedule it after both of your matches. You get both of your matches, and then we'll have even more to talk about setup coming into the matches and mindset and the wins or the losses. It doesn't matter. It's all about the ups and downs. It's just grinding. And you, sir, are grinding jiu-jitsu, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Jay. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to the episode number 1. I'm your boy, C-Tech, Carlos Santiago, Jason Valle. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Enjoy jiu-jitsu. Boom.
Chop.
Yo, Jay,